All right, y'all, this is Brandon Sharp at the Industry Standard. Right now, we're going to go over the 5-year pro forma. So, pro forma, fancy Latin term, it is an overview of the 5-year budget. So it's a 5-year or sometimes a 10-year or however many year projection based on what you think you're going to make in year one. So this does a couple of things. It shows cash flow year over year. It shows how quickly your investors and you can expect to get paid back, or lender or whoever it is, whoever is, produced the capital to fund your project. So let's dive in. In your digital asset folder, the 5-year plan is your pro forma. Now, if you have any questions about this, before you email us at support@the-industrystandard.com, check out Bert's Fish Camp 5-year pro forma. So let's open up the Excel document of the 5-year plan pro forma. All right, let's open up the pro forma. Here we go, 5-year plan. Double click. Again, if you are working on a Mac, you can open this with the same functionality in Numbers. You can also do it on Google Sheets. I'm on Windows and I'm using Excel. So we're going to hit the Save As function. Make sure we save this as. So we enable editing. We hit the Save As. We name this Burger Hero. Again, I like to put this in my downloads. Easy to search for, easy to find. Okay, so here is our copy for Burger Hero of the 5-year pro forma. So, as always, you're only going to fill out the cells that are in yellow. Don't touch the cells that are in white. They have formulas built in that auto-populate. So, let's walk through this real quick. So, the revenue for year one, this value, as you can see by hovering over it and seeing the comment, this value is your total projected year one revenue. You're going to get this from the top right-hand corner, the total revenue projected on your year one operating budget. Labor cost, same thing. Find the corresponding cell on your year one operating budget. Cost of goods sold. So this is your combined cost, again, from your year one operating budget of food cost, liquor cost, beer cost, wine cost, and any other cost of things that you sell. Not your expenses, but the goods that you sell. Other expenses, that is your other expenses. That is everything else. That is labor, that is rent, that is linen, that is china, glass, silver, all those things, repairs and maintenance, PR and advertising, parking, uniforms, paper supplies, office supplies, software, apps, all that stuff, even fees, even legal, goes in other expenses. You can see that total on your year one operating budget as well. Net income, this is your projected year one net income, also known as your NOI or net operating profit. All right, so again, all the values here in column B are going to be pulled by you manually from your year one operating budget. So this document has to be done after you finish your year one operating budget. Once you've got all those in, so this is where you're going to project your growth right here in row 13%, year over year growth. From year 0 to year one, obviously you're not going to grow any because that's just your first year of revenue. So that's year one. From year 1 to year 2, in this example, 8%. So hopefully you have a big jump in revenue from year 1 to year 2. Generally, then it starts to taper off and then it starts to plateau as your restaurant gets older and older and older. So 5% year two to year three, 3.5%, sorry, 3.25% year three to year four, and I put in only 2% from year four to year five. Now, all these numbers are going to be blank on yours. Um, you will put in again the values for column B, and then your expected values for year over year growth in row 13. So again, I would not I think 8% is probably pretty ambitious, year one over year two, but I think it's manageable. Some of our restaurants have done it. I've seen other restaurants do it. It is hard to maintain meteoric growth year after year. If you're maintaining meteoric year over year growth, that means that you probably started so slow that you didn't survive. So that's unlikely. Or maybe you just maybe you blew out the wall and took over the apartment next door, and that became part of your restaurant. You added 40 seats. So maybe that's one way you got massive year over year growth. But unless you're planning on doing something like that, I think it best to be conservative on year over year growth. So look at this number right here. So this is your net income. And if you highlight all those cells, Excel does a fancy thing of showing you the total of those right down there. So let's say that your build out costs were $400,000 and your the sum of your income in years 1 through 5 was $557,000. So you will have paid back your investors long before that. Let's see, 4 years. Boom, $438,000. So that means that by March or April of year four, you will have paid back all of your pre-opening costs, if this projection holds. And that's one thing that your investors will be looking at. They say, what is the projected timeline for me to recoup my investment? You can say 3 years, 4 months, based on my 5 year pro forma. So again, the way that you're going to pay back that $400,000 that they invested in you is through your net income in line 11. When you start adding up these projected net incomes and find a total, that gives you the time over which you're going to pay back that money. So have a look at the example pro forma before you email us at support@the-industrystandard.com. Then you'll get to see a finished product of it. But that should help answer all your questions. And again, this is the last of the 5 documents that you're going to do. This one has to be done after the year one operating budget because it depends on numbers from the year one operating budget. So go get them. This is when it gets fun. I love all this stuff. I love doing the numbers. You probably don't love doing the numbers, but I've made it so easy for you. I've done all the hard work for you. All you have to do is punch in some numbers. So go get them. Good luck with your restaurant project.